Everyone, welcome to Zack Attack Reviews, where I break down the good, the bad, and the ugly of movies, TV shows, and more. Today I'm going to be talking about the new A24 produced movie, Lamb. One of the weirdest movies I've seen all year or maybe ever. As soon as I finished it, I wanted to share my thoughts with you guys. So let's talk about it. Lamb is a dark modern fairy tale set in Iceland following the lives of two farmers. They're following their mundane lives as they take care of their livestock, mostly lamb, and their lives are changed forever when one of their lambs gives birth to an unusual child. This is the directorial debut of Vladimir Johansson. When I did a little bit of research to find out who was directing this, because I like to know what the person did before, so I have my expectations set straight, I saw that this is his first time directing a movie, and he's worked on movies before in VFX and sound design, and I can definitely tell that he's always had a good eye. He did a masterful job crafting this movie, creating the atmosphere that was unnerving, odd, outrageous, completely outrageous. The premise of this movie is so outrageous, but the script brings and the actors bring so much heart to the movie that it keeps it from getting laughable. There was never no point where I was like, okay, this is like a parody, this is ridiculous, because it was so beautifully directed, it was well acted, and I think he did a great job of doing a lot of camera work, and the pacing of the reveals and the mystery were done really, really well. And I think he did a really great job with his first movie. And I think another thing that helps that is the stars. This movie is carried by two actors, Noomi Rapace, sorry if I'm saying your name incorrectly, but she plays Maria, and she's starred in two Netflix shows called Close and What Happened to Monday, which were pretty good, and she did a great job in those shows, and she does a great job here as well. And I'm not sure how to pronounce this person's name. I'm gonna look at my phone real quick. Hilmer something. I don't want to insult his name, so I'm going to put it up on the screen here. You guys know I'm really bad with names, and this one's a complicated one. But he plays Ingvar. He plays her husband, and he does a really great job as well. They both do a really great job of playing this couple who are stuck in a rut, been living this same mundane life, doing the same things over and over and over. And you can see that the love in their life is fading, and also that there is something missing. And it really sets up why they accepted this weird anomaly that's happening. Like why are they accepting this weird lamb child and taking care of it? They're taking care of this child like it's a human baby, and it is so weird when you see it from the outside looking in. But once we see the way they act, once they start interacting with the lamb and how the movie starts unraveling, you understand why they might be doing what they're doing. Usually I like to compare movies to other movies so you kind of understand what kind of movie you're getting into, but I've never seen a movie like this before. It's super original. The only thing I can think of is comparing it to other A24 movies that have similar aesthetics in terms of the way it's filmed. So if you saw a movie that was early this year, one of my favorite movies this year, The Green Knight, in terms of how eerie, odd, and it was this continuous tension throughout the movie, but you didn't know what was causing it to happen. That is here in this movie, and it's very loose in the beginning, but it just starts building up, and this movie becomes a horror movie eventually. Nothing crazy or too scary, but like I said, it's a dark fairy tale with the good. So I gotta give props again to the director, the cinematographer, the guys who worked on the sound and everything. They did a really good job of setting up the atmosphere, setting up this odd, weird movie that I watched where the tension was building. You can see there was drama, there's horror. If you ever seen the movie Splice, that's another movie you could kind of compare it to. It's just a really weird experience to watch this. And the lamb that was born, the weird lamb baby that was born, they did a really good job. I don't know if it was CGI and VFX or if it was animatronic, I don't know what it was, but they did a great job making it realistic. And another thing I gotta big up, another one of my things that I think was great was the use of the animals. Whoever trained the animals in this movie did a fantastic job. They found a way to give these animals so much personality. They felt like they were another character in this movie, because for most of the movie, it's just two characters. It's just two human characters, I should say. And this lamb, this weird lamb child thing that they have, but the animals, you can kind of see them looking at the lamb and like, this is unnatural. Or like the dog was super unsure but started treating it like it was family, but the cat was like, nah, because you know how cats are. So shout out to the dog and the cat. They were really great and made me laugh a lot in this movie. Another thing that I really liked about this movie is that it didn't take itself too seriously. The movie does touch on serious themes. A mother's loss of a child. What would you do to retrieve that feeling? How far would you go, and how far would maybe another parent go to get back that child? And it's very serious, dark themes here, but it doesn't take it too serious where they're like, okay, you need to lighten up a little bit. It has its funny moments, and one of the big things is when Peter, which is the husband's name in the movie, his brother comes to visit and he sees the lamb child for the first time, and his reaction to it when they're at the dinner table eating all together is one of the funniest things I've seen all year, and it's not even intentionally a comedy. It was just really funny. It was done purposely, because as a viewer, you're probably watching this going, what the? This is so weird. So it's like he's us. And he's like questioning, what the hell is going on here? Why are you guys keeping this thing around? What even happened here? And it was just really great to have somebody that felt like us. I felt like if this movie didn't have another person who felt like I think most viewers will feel like watching this movie, it would have been a bit of a disconnect. So I think they did a great job adding that character here, and he was just a great character overall. And there's also multiple mysteries in this thing. It's not just about the lamb child itself. There's the horror part is another mystery. Where is that coming from? And there's also some drama amongst the family, and they all intertwine together to create something that kept me very interested. I just wanted to know what was going to happen, how this was going to unfold, and the movie kept my attention till the end. Even though that the first, I just want to warn you, the first 10 to 15 minutes of the movie is just the family living out their regular Monday lives, sipping tea, drinking water, eating food, taking care of the lambs, giving birth to the lambs very, very graphically. But it was done so you can see the difference before this weird child lamb thing comes to existence, and then how they act after, and why we start seeing why they accept this thing as if it was their own child. And I'm going to talk about the bad. So I don't have a problem with this part of the movie, because I understand what the director was going for. This movie is very, very self-indulgent. I can tell it's not made to be a blockbuster or be mainstream. It's an art piece. It's a character study. I like things like that. It's very unique. I've never seen anything like it. But the first 10 to 15 minutes, maybe the first 20 minutes, I'm not sure, I didn't really time it, was, I guess some people might say, boring, because it was very isolated, very quiet. There was no dialogue in this movie for a long time, just images of the family living through their lives, and you kind of hear the lamb going, and stuff like that, but and dogs barking and things like that, but there was nothing, I guess, entertaining going on, but it was done to show you the difference between their lives until this lamb child comes in. But I can see some people going like, okay, what's going on? I've seen the trailers, I know kind of what's up, I want to get to it. So I can see that turning people off, and I just want to set some expectation. And also another thing that I think might be bad for some people, and it wasn't for me, I like sometimes with certain movies, I understand why there's an ambiguous ending, or there's a lot of questions that are not answered, and happens here with this ending. There's a lot of questions left unanswered, but the questions that are left unanswered was not the point of the movie, so that's why I'm okay with it. But if you're not following along with the point of the movie, or really you think that's like a tertiary thing, then you might be disappointed by the end of this movie. It gets pretty interesting and pretty exciting towards the end, but I do think they left a lot of things left off the table that people, really wanted to know and didn't answer. So I'm going to talk about my verdict. Who is this movie for? People like me. I like this movie. I can say I love this movie. I don't know if it has the rewatchability for me to rewatch it again or multiple times, maybe once a year during Halloween time, because it is a little bit of a horror film. film, but it's so unique. I love seeing things like this. I love seeing the directorial debuts like this. It's for people who like character studies, people who like when people mix real life themes like the loss of a child with extraordinary, weird situations that would not happen, with a little bit of existential dread. A lot of that was there. I think if you like movies like that, if you like other A24 movies like Hereditary, Ghost Story, The Green Knight, Slow Burn, character study movies, you will enjoy this movie. And I think he did a great job for his first time directing. Who this movie is not for, if you just want to be entertained throughout the movie, want your senses to be going off, something hitting you, something to keep you engaged that's like right or something like that, something that's a little bit more funny or actiony, this is not for you. If you don't like slow burn movies, if you don't like movies that start off and you don't know what the hook is just yet, this might not be for you. With all that said though, for me, like I said, I love this movie. It was really, really good. I don't think it was amazing or anything, so I'll give it a grade of a B. So if you've seen this movie, drop a comment down below. Let's talk about it in the comments. What you thought about the story, about the characters, the lamb child, and the way it was well crafted, or if you thought it was sucked, or you have lingering questions or some things you didn't understand. There's a lot of art. This is an art house film. There's a lot of artsy things in there. So drop a comment below. Let's have a conversation. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified of my next video, and you can actually watch more right now.